roads to railways cutting across deserts, from modern megacities to dams that shake rivers, China is leaving its mark all over Africa. Not with words, nor with slogans, but with colossal structures rising in places once forgotten by the world, with quiet persistence and ambition. That's not just concrete, steel, and glass. That's explored 10 massive projects built by China and why they. The Sura Dam, a river transformed into electricity. In the tropical lands of West Africa, there's a river named Shashankra, meandering like a ribbon of emerald silk, winding through the deep green hills of the Ivory Coast. For generations, that river has been a silent lifeline for millions of people. But in just a few years, it has taken on a completely different appearance. What brought about that change is a massive project called the Sura Hydroelectric Dam. When the project was announced, many locals couldn't help but be skeptical. Could such a large and modern structure really take shape in a place accustomed only to fields and wooden boats? But then China stepped in, backed by the China Export-Import Bank, along with engineers and workers from the Shinohiro Group, and the project officially commenced, astonishing the entire region. Total investment over $570 million, almost entirely from Chinese financing. And thousands of people, both Chinese and Ivorian, began the journey to conquer the river. That's the largest hydroelectric project in the country. But what's even more remarkable is how it was built. Amid dense forests, under heavy rain and swampy ground, every square meter was leveled, excavated, concreted, and fitted with machinery. Nearly 3,500 workers labored non-stop until the river yielded. And then light began to spread. Electricity reached villages, hospitals stayed open all night, schools lit up, children watched TV for the first time, and new roads led to mushrooming residential areas. Not stopping there, Sura also turned the Ivory Coast into an electricity exporter to Ghana, Togo, and Burkina Faso. A leap forward no one had dared imagine before. The river that once only flowed to the sea now flows with rays of light, carrying hope for a new future. And at its heart, the Sura Dam stands as proof of the soaring aspirations of a continent changing day by day. Walvis Bay, the container city on the Atlantic shore. If you stand on a sand dune in southwestern Africa, where land meets the deep blue ocean, you'll see a port rising powerfully, like a beast awakening. That's most important trade gateway. But what makes it special ISN? Just a few years ago, Walvis Bay was a modest port with limited capacity, unable to handle large cargo ships. But that changed when the expansion project began, with over $300 million United States dollars in total investment handled by China Harbor Engineering Company. Work started with massive tasks: dredging channels, reclaiming 40 hectares from the sea, and building a 600-meter-long wave-breaking wall. Just creating land from the sea was a major challenge, but with Chinese expertise and technology, everything gradually took shape, as if they were redrawing the region's trade map. As cargo handling capacity doubled from 350,000 to 750,000 containers per year. That T just bigger. Cargo ships can now dock more easily, with cheaper and faster transport, not just for Namibia but also for Botswana, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Landlocked countries now have a gateway to the world. From a faint dot on the map, Walvis Bay has become a strategic transit hub for southern Africa. It connects land with ocean, inland economies with global markets, and a whole continent with dreams of development. No one expected a place once known only for wind and sand to become Africa's container city, where cranes rise ceaselessly like symbols of a future drawing near. Egypt's new capital, a city born from the desert. Capital Cairo, there. Yet, right there, the new city is gradually emerging, modern, ambitious, and utterly different. They call it Egypt's new administrative capital, a mega-city planned from scratch spanning 700 square kilometers, equivalent to the entire island nation of Singapore. Just any new urban area. The project launched in 2015, with China as a key partner. A series of major Chinese companies joined, most notably the China State Construction Engineering Corporation, which undertook the core construction of the city's financial center. Additionally, land development companies, infrastructure technology providers, and financiers from Beijing helped turn ideas on paper into real concrete. This most modern infrastructure system is taking shape. Government buildings, embassies, the financial center, upscale residential areas, and even a central park twice the size of London. Most notably, at the city's heart, a 1,000-meter-tall tower, set to become the tallest building on the continent, is being built as a symbol of soaring ambition. It's not just concrete blocks rising skyward. The city is planned to smart city standards. With automated traffic monitoring, solar-powered lights, and integrated green urban areas, all designed to house up to 6.5 million residents in the future, easing the overloaded traffic and population of Cairo. Many call it a bold dream, a city rising from the desert, much like Dubai once started with just sand and oil. S imprint is indispensable, the city ISN. S longest river, U. But in one of the most rugged sections of the Kwanzaa, amid majestic mountains and challenging terrain, a structure is blocking that flow, taming it, and turning it into electricity. That is the Kakulo Kabaka Hydroelectric Dam, one of the largest and boldest projects ever built in the country. When construction began in 2017, no one thought a place with almost no roads and poor infrastructure could become a massive worksite with over 10,000 workers laboring day and night. But Angola was determined, and China became the main partner. The giant construction conglomerate China Dejoba Group, famous for the Three Gorges Dam on the Yangtze River, brought all its experience to this distant African land. The project has a total investment of over 4.5 billion United States dollars, largely funded by the China Development Bank, with a goal no small feat, generating 2,172 megawatts of electricity, nearly doubling Angola's entire existing power capacity at the time of commencement. But to achieve that, they faced a series of unimaginable challenges. With no roads to transport materials, they had to cart paths through forests. With no grid power to run machinery, they set up temporary mobile power plants. And with no housing for thousands of engineers, they built an entire small town just for workers. Each concrete block bored into the riverbed was like a giant step. Each turbine installed underground was like a mechanical heart ready to beat. And when the Kakulo-Kabaka Dam officially operates, it won't just light up millions of homes but also power factories, industries, schools, and hospitals across Angola. Not stopping there, Angola looks to an even farther future. With its strategic location, this dam can supply electricity to both Namibia and South Africa, making Angola the new energy hub of southern Africa. As the sun sets over the Kwanza River, lights from the Kakulo-Kabaka Dam blaze to life, a clear testament that from a country once shrouded in the darkness of war, Angola is lighting up again. With the very energy harnessed from nature and the aspiration rising from the motherland. Lagos-Ibadan Express Train. The life-changing train in Nigeria. If you have ever experienced transportation in Nigeria, especially between the two major cities of Lagos and Ibadan, you will understand why locals call this route a journey of endurance, congestion, dust, damaged roads, and accidents. All of this makes the journey of just over 150 kilometers take more than 6 hours to complete, even longer during peak hours. But then an unexpected change occurred. In 2021, Nigeria officially inaugurated the Lagos-Ibadan Express train line, a modern standard gauge railway, constructed by China's Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, with a total investment of $1.5 billion United States dollars. This is the first international standard passenger and freight railway in West Africa and one of the key infrastructure projects in the entire region. The 156 kilometers long line operates at speeds of up to 150 kilometers per hour. It reduces travel time between the two cities to just about 2 hours. That's not just about faster travel. The train runs smoothly, is clean, air-conditioned, has comfortable seats, modern stations, all creating an unprecedented experience for many residents. With tickets priced at just a few dollars equivalent, the line becomes affordable for the vast majority, especially small traders and daily commuters. Along the railway corridor, new urban areas begin to emerge, commercial centers, logistics hubs, and transit stations gradually take shape. A single railway line is pulling along an entire chain of urbanization. But that is just the beginning. The Nigerian government and its Chinese partner have greater ambitions to turn the Lagos-Ibadan line into the first phase of Nigeria's railway super project. In the future, this line will extend over 1,300 kilometers, connecting Lagos in the south all the way to Kano in the north, an area with a dense population and rich industrial development potential. With every train that rolls, Nigeria is not only shortening geographical distances, they're shortening the gap between the present and the future. And at the heart of all this transformation is the image of gleaming trains gliding past fields, villages, cities, like steel arrows piercing through the past to pave the way for a modern Nigeria. One train journey, but it is the journey of an entire nation, and that journey has perhaps only just begun. The Addis Ababa-Djibouti Railway, the cross-border breadth of Africa. Imagine a country with over 110 million people, landlocked, without an international seaport, yet harboring the ambition to become Africa's new industrial hub. That is Ethiopia. And to turn that ambition into reality, they needed a gateway, an outlet to the world. That gateway is Djibouti, the tiny neighboring country right on the coast. Between the two countries, separated by over 750 kilometers, lies a stretch of arid, desolate land with winds blowing day and night. Previously, transporting goods from Ethiopia to the port took 3 to 4 days by truck, full of risks and high costs. But everything changed when the first modern cross-border railway line in Africa was born, the Addis Ababa-Djibouti line. Stretching 756 kilometers, this railway was built using modern technology by two major Chinese corporations, China Railway Group and China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation. With a total cost of about $4 billion, largely funded by the Export-Import Bank of China. This is not just a line, it's an infrastructure miracle. Trains can run at speeds of 120 kilometers per hour, moving from Ethiopia's capital to the port of Djibouti in just 12 hours. The journey that once took a week is now reduced to half a day. And it doesn't just carry people. This line transports hundreds of thousands of tons of cargo annually, from agricultural products and minerals to raw materials. Since commencing operations in 2018, the railway has created a quiet revolution. Industrial zones have sprung up along the line, trade between the two countries has soared, and over 20,000 direct and indirect jobs have been created. Ethiopia's GDP is estimated to increase by over 2% annually thanks to this connection. But the most special thing is the feeling that for the first time, Africa has a modern cross-national railway line that it owns and operates itself, rather than just being an outdated legacy from the colonial era. It is a sign that this continent is shaping its own development path, with steel wheels rolling across every meter of dusty red soil. Each time the train departs from the center of Addis Ababa, crosses distant desert mountains, and heads straight to the Great Sea at Tripoli. That is when a dream is pushed closer to reality. A dream of connection, a dream no longer separated by borders, geography, or history. And in that dream, the train's whistle sounds like the cross-border breath of an awakening Africa. The Maputo Bridge is silk ribbon connecting sea and sky of Mozambique. On the shores of Maputo Bay, where the waves of the Indian Ocean lap the southern coast of Mozambique, there once existed a quiet but profound separation. On one side is the bustling capital Maputo, on the other is the Katumbe district, an area full of potential yet seemingly forgotten by time. For decades, the only way to cross was by ferry, and those ferry trips were never easy, slow, crowded, and often requiring hours of waiting under the scorching sun. But now everything has changed. Where there was once only water and wind, a giant steel ribbon now stretches across the sky. The Maputo-Katumbe Bridge, the longest bridge in Africa at the time of its inauguration. Stretching 3 kilometers, the bridge is an engineering marvel built by the China Road and Bridge Corporation, with a total investment of $785 million, largely funded by a loan from the Chinese government. The project commenced in 2014 and was inaugurated in 2018 after 4 years of continuous construction. It's not just a bridge. Maputo-Katumbe is a link between the present and the future. Previously, crossing the bay could take hours. Now it takes less than 5 minutes. Everything, from commuting to school and work to transporting goods, has become easier than ever. Every day, the bridge can accommodate over 1,000 vehicle crossings, but its true value lies in what cannot be counted. Opportunities for Katumbe residents to access markets, jobs, services, opportunities for Maputo to expand southward, and opportunities for the entire nation of Mozambique to reach out to the Great Sea. From above, the bridge looks like a soft silk ribbon connecting the two banks, both graceful and sturdy. In the steady rhythm of daily traffic flow, one can sense the heartbeat of a country gradually reviving. DAGAMOYO of the TANZANIANS. On the east coast of Africa, where waves from the Indian Ocean crash onto the shore, lies an area about 75 kilometers north of Dar es Salaam. Previously, it was just a long, pristine, and quiet stretch of sand. But now, it is becoming the focus of attention across the continent. That place is called Bagamoyo, and it is where one of the largest ports in modern African history is taking shape. Bagamoyo port is not a minor upgrade but a leap forward. The project has an estimated investment of up to $10 billion, with the ambition of turning Tanzania into the new trade gateway of East Africa. China is once again a key partner in this project. China Merchants Port, one of the world's largest port operators, together with the Tanzanian government, initiated the port construction plan in 2013. So, what makes Bagamoyo Port so special? First is its scale. Upon completion, the port is designed to handle up to 20 million TEUs annually, which is 7 times the current capacity of Mombasa Port in Kenya, the largest port in East Africa. To put it into perspective, the figure of 20 million TEUs is nearly equivalent to the total container throughput of all African ports in 2019. But it's not just about numbers. Bagamoyo is also planned as a massive integrated system. Surrounding the port are a free trade zone, logistics warehouses, factories, residential clusters, and roads connecting to landlocked countries like Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and even Congo. This is not just a port but a transnational trade corridor being redrawn from Tanzania's coast. However, achieving this is not simple. The Bagamoyo project has faced multiple delays due to financial issues, design adjustments, and concerns about the coastal environment. Yet the Tanzanian government remains steadfast in its long-term vision, a future where goods from the Middle East, Asia, and Europe can dock at Bagamoyo and spread across the continent. Now, rocks are being leveled, piers are being laid, and the place once only wind and sand are about to welcome massive container ships from around the world. Bagamoyo is gradually becoming the heart of trade in East Africa, and if successful, it could completely transform Tanzania's position on the global economic map. A new gateway is opening, and from that coast, Africa is preparing to welcome a new flow of goods, opportunities, and even the future. From lands once silent under sun, wind, and dust, Africa is now rising with projects that make the world look back. A wave of construction is spreading, and within it, China's imprint is everywhere, from blueprints to cranes, from capital flows to construction pace. It is an opportunity, a driver of development, but it also raises quiet questions. Who truly holds the keys to the future? And can Africa step into its golden age in its own way? The journey you've just taken is only the tip of the iceberg. The deeper part may still be waiting to be explored.